Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to look at this little tool called WDT, which is nothing but waste distribution technique. There's a nice little tool which is very important for making espresso. This tool will greatly reduce channeling. We are going to find out whether this is really worth or not. That's what today's video is about. I already did an unboxing video of this. You might have already watched, but let's find out whether this is really worth or not. Now, there are many distribution methods or technique. One of the most commonly used is this type of two-in-one tambour, where this side is tambour and the other side, this looks like a wedges. This will help to distribute the puck or the grinds properly. Once you rotate, it will push all the grinds which are more to the lesser area. That's what this basically does. Now, using this, you could make good cup of espresso, but what about this method? You might have seen some people use this method where they fluff up. Now, what does this really do compared to this? Now, to explain the difference between these two, let's say you dispense some grinds onto the portafilter. Now, these Breville grinders, when you grind finer, either Barista Pro or the Barista Express, when you grind the beans finer, you could see a lot of clumps, and those clumps will be underneath. Sometimes it's visible on the top, but if you don't break that, what happens is this tool, it will only distribute the grinds on the top, just on the surface. What about those big clumps underneath? Nothing is going to happen to them, and there will be channels, there will be air pockets inside the portafilter. You may not see when you use this distribution method, but once you distribute it, the surface looks so clean and uniform, but underneath there could be some clumps. And then as soon as you use the other side to tamp it down, or the Breville tambour to tamp it down, you're going to push those big clumps and you're going to compress it more compared to the other loose area. So that will create an uneven puck, and there would be still some channeling that will happen, which is hidden to you. Now, let's look at this tool, the WDT tool. Using this, what you do is you go deep in the basket first and move the beans around, and that will break all the big clumps into smaller pieces, and then work your way all the way up to the surface. So what you basically do with this is fluffing up the grinds and cutting through all the clumps and breaking them into powder. So that's what basically you can achieve using this. Now, once it is fluffed up, then you could use this or even use the tambour directly. So today I'm going to make 2 cups of espresso. The first one without using any distribution method, and the second cup I will use this WDT tool. And obviously we are going to use the bottomless portafilter so that we can compare and see if there is any channeling that happens. Let's begin. So here I took 18 grams and we are going to use this for the first shot. So my grind size is at 2. I'm not going to change anything. Both the shots will be exactly the same. And you could already see those clumps, those big clumps here and there. That's what I was talking about. And there will be air pockets between that. And when you compress, the clumps will have a tighter area compared to the looser area where the water will flow through that area. So let's prepare the first extraction. So all I'm going to do is just level it We will use the Breville tamper. So this is what basically everyone does, just distribute it and then tamp it. So obviously there are some grinds on the side, and let me try to get that as well. This is the problem with the default tamper. Okay, we'll give a nice tamp and then polish it. Yeah, I think it looks fine now. Okay, so let's prepare. First we'll run the empty shot. Now this should warm up the shower screen, the group head, and the water temperature. I'll also measure the yield. And we'll monitor the time as well. So let's have a closer look and let's begin. "31 seconds and we got 50 grams out." So we got 50 grams out in 31 seconds. And the shot looks good. The extraction looked okay. Initially it started at the back side first, and then it came filling all over. That's what I noticed, and there were very few spurts as well, which is common. But let's taste this. It's a nice shot. Let's have a look at the second shot with the waste distribution method, and let's see if there is any difference in the taste compared to this shot. Let's have a look if there is any channeling. And I don't see any obvious signs of channeling. It looks okay. It came out easy. And overall everything looks fine, even the color. I don't see any obvious signs of channeling, which is good. Now for the next shot, let's take again exactly the same 18 grams. And I won't be changing any settings, still at grind size 2. Okay, everything looks same. And now let's prepare the puck. So this time I'm going to use this tool. Before I dispense into the portafilter, I'm going to break all the big clumps. That's the first thing I'll do. So as you notice, you could see there are big clumps here. This is what I'm going to break. Anyway, I'll start from deep down there first, and we'll move it around. Okay, it looks fine. Now someone recommended in my channel that instead of using many needles, you need to use only 3. Now using 3, it will cut through the grinds quickly. Now when you use many needles, it's going to move the grinds around like this, which you don't want. That's why you should use only 1 or 2 or maximum 3. So I'm going to change that, and then we will do another video and see if there is any difference. For now, I'll leave everything factory default, and let's transfer it. Now you could gently tap it, it's fine. There are a few more to be broken. I'll just do that now. Okay, looks good. Now you could gently tap it. That will settle the beans well, and I'm not going to use 2-in-1 tambour today, so let's be consistent. I'm going to use the same Breville tambour. And then we will polish it. Looks good, and let's use this. So we got everything ready for the second shot, and let's begin. Forty 42 seconds and 33 grams out. Whoa. So we got 33 grams out from 18 grams, and it took 42, I think 42 seconds, which is very different number from the other one. Now if you look at the shot, I don't know why I got such a big difference. There's a lot of crema, and even the crema, it's thin. It's look at the other one, it has bigger bubbles compared to the other one. So definitely there was some air pockets, and there were some channeling inside which we did not see, even though the shot looks good. But look at the crema, that's what I'm surprised. Let's have a side view. Obviously the quantity was less, so the grinds in this shot was distributed properly and tamped properly. Now in this, obviously there was some air pockets which created a quicker flow, and that's why we got more quantity plus the bubbles. That's the only thing I can explain. But look at this, look at the crema. This is what I'm surprised. So uniform, like a cream, like butter. Amazing. And look at this one. Okay, so I'm going to taste the second shot, which looks good. Good flavors. Let me compare quickly with the other one. Okay, this one, it's slightly bitter, or there's something not right in this one. Now this one is more balanced than the other one. I thought this will be bitter because the flow of the espresso was decent compared to this. The second shot had a lesser flow, but it was uniform. Now I don't know if you can pick up, the camera can pick up, the color of the espresso is light. You could see light brown here compared to this. Let me zoom in. You could see the lightish color around. Hopefully the camera can see. Now there is something different in the first shot taste wise. Now this is very smooth and balanced. I really like the second shot. It looks good, and the extraction also looked so good. In the bottomless portafilter, it was very uniform. There was a huge difference between those two shots, one using the WDT and one without. The one without is normally how everyone makes espresso in this machine. You grind it and tamp it using the default tamper, and that's what we just did in the first shot. And personally, I am really surprised by that huge difference between those two. Now this is the first time I'm comparing between those two. We were using the same beans from the same ball, the same grinder, the same grind size. The only difference is we use this to break all the clumps, all the air pockets, and fluff it up and then tamp it. The other one, straight from the grinder with clumps, and we tamped it, and there were some air pockets which caused channeling, which we did not see. It wasn't much visible when we used the bottomless portafilter. There were a little bit here and there. It started on the right at the back first, and then it was more or less uniform. But you see the big difference in the flow of the espresso on the second shot, and mainly the crema, amazing crema, a rich honey-like thick crema. That's the difference. So do I recommend this? Oh yes, it is a great little tool, and it definitely helps in making a nice, or in preparing a nice puck and breaking all the clumps, which will reduce channeling. So this is very important tool if you want to reduce channeling. So I would highly recommend it. Even I'm surprised by this result. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And where to buy this, I'll leave the link in the description below of this video. If you click and buy from the Amazon links, I'll get a small commission being an associate. So if you like this video, you know what to do. And if you're new to my channel, you know what to do. So see you guys next time. Bye for now.